Commissioner Collins,
Here.
Commissioner Martinez,
Here.
Commissioner Alminas,
Here.
Commissioner Miller,
Here.
Commissioner Jones,
Here.
Commissioner Ryan,
Here.
and Commissioner Bonjourni.
Here.
We have 3 public hearings and I'm guessing from looking at the crowd that most people are here for the request for determination of applicability for the Wetlands Protection Act for what is the part, it's Wendover Road, but it's not all that under the file, it's parcel numbers. But it is, location is 90 Wendover Road. Most people here for that? All right, so we'll take that out of order and we'll do the other 2 after, because we have people. Okay, now, this is, what we're doing here is a determination of applicability. We have to see what we're gonna say, look at is whether the Wetlands Protection Act even applies to this parcel. That's the very first step, and that's what we're doing this evening. Do we have someone here to present?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. I'm Rob Levesque from our Levesque Associates. We're here this evening representing Tom Bretta, here with me. We are here this evening simply to determine that there are no wetland boundaries within the subject property. Kind of an interesting piece of property with frontage on Wendover Road. There's a portion of the property that has been utilized by the neighboring church for a parking area. So we're requesting determination of applicability for the entirety of the property, which is essentially void of wetland resource areas. The reason we're doing that is because there's been some questions in the neighborhood about what might happen with this property. Anytime we have any sort of project, this is zoned residential, so anytime that there's any sort of project, we always want to determine wetland boundaries. It's kind of our quote unquote X-ray to see what's broken or not broken, right? So that we can see what we can use and can't use. So those resource areas, those buffer zones, those types of things are obviously impactful to what we could potentially utilize. So in this particular case, we happen to be very fortunate in that there are no wetland resource areas. You might be familiar with, there was a building here owned by the diocese that was demolished a few years back. There was also some trees that were damaged years back during the tornado, and then it was cleared and whatnot. So essentially not that exciting because there are, or at least not the Conservation Commission, because there are no wetland resource areas. Ryan Nelson from my office, I believe, walked not only, I think, did we walk the Ryan?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, and yeah, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have, but we're looking for a negative determination just so we can move on to the next steps in our planning process.
Okay. Commissioners have any questions of the presenter? No. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Your figure D3 speaks to soil types. I'd like to know a little bit more about that with all of the types thing on that. Here, page 16, D3, description of findings on soil types.
You say page 16? I'm sorry, page 16?
Can you say?
16 on the print on my computer.
Can you see, Paul?
No, I can't see anything besides the conference view.
While we're waiting for this Levesque to find something in this file.
Overlooking.
Wetlands in Massachusetts is determined by 3 potential things. It's the amount of wetland vegetation must exceed 50% vegetation.
Yeah, I got it now. Thank you.
their water needs to be at or near the surface. And the third factor you can use is soils to determine whether there's a wetland soils. Those three things are taken into consideration to decide whether something is a wetland or not.
So I believe if you're referring to the map unit legend, so specifically there are two soil types mapped, 255C Windsor loamy sand with 8 to 15% slopes, and also urban land 602. So there's about 24 acres of the urban land mapped in that general vicinity, and then about an acre of the Windsor loamy sand. So we've conducted test pits out there for the purposes of understanding the soils. There is sandy material to a depth of about 10 feet in most cases in the rear of the property. There's actually really nice sandy soil to a much deeper depth. So we have all those test pit information, and then also OTO, O'Reilly, Talbot, and Oaken had done a couple borings even deeper. So we had got a good feel for the soil layers.
The reason I ask is that when Cathedral was built in 1955 across from Surrey Road, the homes on the south side of that were there was sewage backup and that type of thing. Of course, the neighborhood has asked me to bring to the attention, not wetlands, I grant you, but you've got the elementary school and the library directly below and abutting on the same side. And so, the children there, the students, the elementary students, of course, are a concern of our neighborhood. And we're just wondering if there'll be any impact when you start putting in the sewer lines.
Actually, right, we can't, that's not just under the jurisdiction of the conservation commission, unfortunately. When you did there was no evidence of water in any of those pits or borings?
Correct.
And how deep do the borings go? Do you get a general idea?
There's a few deep, you know, I think it's 30. They're almost 30 feet, or you put it down.
And no water?
No.
Yeah, Ryan Nelson and I walked the entire parcel. It was very dry, sandy, upland. A lot of young generation trees, a lot of invasive too, so.
In order for a wetland to survive, I'm beginning to think like we're having a teaching lesson here, but you have to have soils that will retain water. Because wetland plant its feet basically can't get dry. They need to stay wet all year round. If there isn't any water as deep as those roots go, then wetland plants won't survive. That's why they do take a look at the water at or near the surface. Sandy soils don't do that. The water just goes down through. Any other commissioners have questions? If none, I'm gonna open up to the public. Are there questions from anybody in the public? Okay. Hearing none, Kevin, is there anything you walk the site? Is there anything else that you want to add?
No, Helianthus trees, spotted flies were present, both invasive, non-native species, out there, but other than that, it was good. It's right.
And that's another way you can judge a wetland. There were certain trees that grow wetlands and.
Yeah. Black locust tree is one of them too. They like dry soils. They're prevalent all throughout the whole parcel, so.
If there's no other questions, then I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second. Well, we do have one person on Zoom, so we do need to call.
Commissioner Collins,
Yes.
Commissioner Martinez,
Yes.
Commissioner Almeidas,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Ryan,
Staying.
and Commissioner Bonjour.
Yes.
So in the interest of people being here, why don't we go to the determination? Does anyone want to make a motion? a negative or positive or negative determination would mean that the Wetlands Protection Act does not apply to this parcel. I'll entertain any motions on.
I'll make a motion to issue a negative determination for this parcel.
I'll second.
I'll call roll.
I'm just concerned about the storm drain water running into the water shot pond and again, the pesticides. Because we have a horrible experience of vegetation that was affected when it was drawn down. And hopefully Pat Sullivan will have some effect on people using more natural fertilizer. So I'm concerned about the storm drains that this project will have and how they'll be affecting one shot. Thank you for listening.
If you call the roll?
Commissioner Collins,
Yes.
Commissioner Martinez,
Yes.
Commissioner Alvenaz,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Ryan,
Yes.
and Commissioner Bonjour.
Yes.
Thank you. So that a negative determination was just issued, so the Wetlands Protection Act does not apply to this. So
Thank you for taking us out of work.
well, I
Yes,
don't want to
thank
make people sit there through the.
That was interesting. Enjoy your stuff.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Okay, we'll move to the first item on the agenda, request for determination of applicability for line 1433 replacement project, surface exploration parcel. This is by N-Star Electric Company, Iron Bonds replaces West Columbus Avenue. 850. We have someone.
We have Melissa and Anna. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. I do have a PowerPoint presentation to share. Let's do that. All right, can you guys see that screen?
Yeah.
There we
Now
go.
we can.
So for the public record, my name is Anna Messick. I'm from Ty and Bond here on behalf of the applicant Eversource Energy. So Eversource is seeking a negative determination tonight for subsurface exploration related to the line 1433 replacement project that's occurring in Springfield. See if this wants to work, and there it goes. So for a quick overview, there's two different project locations as part of the RDA. The first one is in the Basketball Hall of Fame South parking lot, which you can see on the lower left of the image. That's going to be boring number 6. And then the second location is adjacent to 720 Wilbraham Road, which is Z-Cut 13 and boring 27. So boring 6 is going to be along the Connecticut River, and the Z-Cut 13 and boring 27 are within the buffer zone to Lake Lookout. So just again, we're seeking a negative determination here in order to inform the design of the underground transmission line. The work occurs within 100-foot buffer zone to bank and land underwater bodies and waterways of the Connecticut River at boring 6, and the same, but at this location of boring 27 and CC 13 will be at Lake Lookout. So it's one Z-cut that will be 20 to 25 feet deep, and then 2 borings approximately 9 inches in diameter and 15 feet deep. Post-construction, the area will be backfilled, compact, and reestablished to the existing grade. It's anticipated to start work in winter 2025 through spring of 2026. So a period of 1 day for the Z-cut and 1 day each for the geotechnical borings during that time period. the equipment proposed to be used is the Vector for the Z-cut and a truck-mounted drill rig for the boring. And this is a closer look at those resource areas. So this is boring 6 here. So there's no permanent alteration to buffer zone being proposed. It's not within BLSF, and it's not within riverfront area either. So the activities are temporary in nature and will have negligible impacts and are necessary for planning purposes, which is typically an exemption under 310 CMR. But it is not an exemption under the Springfield ordinance, so we're seeking a negative determination towards that. And likewise with the area over at Lake Lookout on Wilbraham Road, boring 27 and Z-cut 13, no permanent alteration and temporary in nature with little to no impact and necessary for planning purpose of the underground line. And lastly, we have a few site photos here. This would be Wilbraham Road and the approximate locations in the roadway. So no proposed alteration outside the limits of the roadway here. And then the south parking lot of Basketball Hall of Fame. Same story, work is to occur within the already existing paved and altered area. And the CT River would be in the background here on the other side of the train tracks. And that is the Basketball Hall of Fame. That's just your brief overview there, and I'm happy to answer any questions that the commission may have.
Thank you.
Of course.
As was stated, under the Wetlands Protection Act, this would be exempt because it's a public service. It's under ours that we have to do a determination, basically. This work would be exempt. As you can hear, that it was not, there's nothing, no permanent disturbance, and it's in paved areas, most of it, so. Anything you want to add?
Anna, the owner of 720 Wilbraham Road there in that second picture you were showing us, the owner of that building that's north of the cuttings was wondering if there's going to be any traffic closures or disturbances during that time. They had concerns of that.
So I would say, based upon which side of the roadway, that side of the road would be closed. I can't say for certain off the top of my head which side that is, though, but there should still be access to the property and the driveway.
Okay. Yeah, the owner would be, so in that picture to the right, it was the owner that's up on the left. I believe that's a school for children. Right. So the owner was concerned about me not being able to access the driveway or whatever. So you're saying the south section would be closed off during the work, but there'd still be traffic flow through it.
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, would there be, okay, so traffic will be able to flow, but what about emergency vehicles if they have to get into the school or down that road?
Right. So likewise, it would only be one lane of traffic closed off at a time for the work, and it would be for just one day. So we can definitely work with the abutter and obviously provide notification to the commission when the work is to occur, because there is a time, a gap there in the time frame.
Yeah, can you please let me know that? Yeah. Just because I have the man's phone number and he wants updates, so I can call him. If you could just let me know when you plan on being out there, when you anticipate being out there, I could call him at a time so he knows to expect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Or even he could call him, or they could call him.
Yeah. Or
One way or the other.
Yeah.
And that's got entered into discussion, because I was going to suggest that we do a negative as long as we're notified before the work gets done. Anyone want to make a motion?
Make a motion.
Negative determination,
Negative,
as long as we're.
as long as we're notified. How's that?
I'll second.
Go ahead, Adam, you can call the roll.
Commissioner Collins,
Yes.
Commissioner Martinez,
Yes.
Commissioner Alvenaz,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Ryan,
Yes.
Commissioner Bonjour.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, let me know so I can vote.
Yeah.
It's like this, terrible. Without.
Because you have to back up, Doug and get,
Yeah.
you know, if they can do it when it's not a school time, that'd be really in between those hours.
Yeah.
I don't think it's, I think it's a preschool.
Oh, no, that's a preschool.
Yeah, it's-
I'm thinking of the Doug in.
Oh.
Further.
Oh.
And the traffic.
And
Oh, I
Mass
see what
Mutual.
you're saying. Okay.
And Mass Mutual.
Mass Mutual.
Yeah,
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
well, that has two preschools, that particular one, they're on both sides of the street, there's one preschool on one side. One preschool on the other, there's the Springfield.
That's the way.
One of them
So it's
going out of town, the one on the left used to be just for Mass Mutual.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's two schools there, but they're, again, they're small.
They're doing something over there right now, and it's kind
It's Mass Mutual, no, they correct.
And
of.
yeah,
Back, but right at that length, there.
Right,
okay, and the third one that we have is a partial certificate of compliance for property owned and operated by the Republican Company. West of Clinton Street and north of Allen Common. We do partials typically, and we've all been there where we've had islands that have lots of houses in them. And some parcels within that don't have any, but when the person filed it, they put everything underneath. And this is kind of similar to that. This was one big filing, and this parcel really doesn't pertain. There was nothing there, but because they filed it that way, if you try to sell it, you guys have been through that with real estate, that you gotta get a certificate of compliance, even though it's really not in it. So that's the issue, the time when we issue a partial. Anything for you, Adam?
Yeah, well, we just have,
Yeah,
Mike.
Michael Siddell here on behalf of the applicant. I couldn't hear everything perfectly, but what I did hear sounded perfect. So, yes, we're asking for a partial release. So it's really to clean up the title to the property, so that this isn't a matter of record, and I don't think it really affects the property. It was a 1997 notice of intent and a public hearing in 1998, and the work was supposed to be done 3 years after that. So, and it really didn't affect this property. So we're asking for a partial release.
I can add some information to this to show everybody. So it was for the bike path, and I have the original conditions and NOI right here. It was for the bike path that was, is it the 20,000 foot bike path that went along the park there, Riverfront Park, and this particular section of it, just make sure, was just the bike path. There were no railings, there was no concrete, there was no anything else. Actually. Well, it's not good. Oh, hold on. This is the section right here, and I went out here last week and walked it just to make sure there wasn't anything. So what we're talking about is this parcel right here, and then this narrow, actually, hold on, let me share. You probably can't see my screen, can you? Hold on.
No.
All right, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so it's this parcel right here, this large parcel, and then this thin parcel right here is the two parcels in question that would like to be released. And the question, or the NOI was made because of the bike path that went right through here. And this is just part of the 20,000 foot bike path, and strictly right here was just the walkway, no railings, nothing else. very straightforward. I went out here last week just to inspect it and everything looked really good. So,
And unfortunately for these guys, once they did the bike path, they never asked for a certificate of compliance.
Yeah,
yeah. So,
So is there a motion to issue the parcel certificate?
I'll make a motion to issue the partial certificate. Second. Is it Columbus? No, the street, the north of Pavilion Street.
Mike seconded it. Yes. Go ahead and call it a vote.
Commissioner Collins,
Yes.
Commissioner Martinez.
yes.
Commissioner Almenus,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Ryan,
Yes.
Commissioner Bonjour.
Yes.
Okay.
No. Those are the items on the agenda. Madam, were you here for? There's
No,
nothing on
I'm
the
a
agenda.
citizen, resident of Springfield. My property abuts two pieces, Adam knows it, 138 Stapleton Road in Springfield. On Watershop's Pond. And I have decided that I'm going to try and attend as many of these meetings as possible. Frank is very familiar with my style, so, and that is by Colleen Moynihan of 138 Stapleton Road in Springfield. I have property on Watershop Pond, abutting a section on the south of my property, and then another piece that's sort of northwest of me on Walsh and Ketty. There's a strange, the end of Walsh and the beginning of Ketty. And so this has been very informative and very helpful. And I was just redoing my homeowners today and discovered that I have been denied because there are trees that are on your property overhanging my property. And so I don't know what's gonna happen on all of that, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here because I'm interested. I wanna know more about what you do. And basically that's it.
It's a beautiful neighborhood. Yeah.
You live there?
Yeah, I grew up there. My mom's still there.
Ah.
She's in the 300 block.
Well, I'm at that property that apparently was I saw a
On
problem.
the corner.
Yes,
That's a nice location.
it's a nice piece of property. I was just lucked out on it, quite frankly. But from my environmental perspective and or from a conservation perspective, I think that I need to know more about what you do. And I don't know if you remember our conversation now.
I do. I remember a site visit too. I went out to your house. Yep,
Yes,
I remember.
yeah,
Yeah, good to see you again.
thank you. I've been trying to get on.
Nice when someone takes an interest in what we do.
Yeah.
Well, I have indirectly, right, Frank?
Very good job about the pond.
Yes, I have indirectly over the
Fantastic
years.
project.
And so it's just a continuation of trying to be a good neighbor.
She's associated with 16 acres and help me out. It's off Wilbraham Road and what's the name of the pond? I'm drawing.
Venture Pond.
Oh,
Spencer.
Venture Pond.
Yeah.
Not much of a pond left there. It's
Yeah.
pretty much full of in.
That's one of the things I'm
Venture
trying to
Pond.
do now is to advocate for the ponds, including Watershop's Pond. I have a copy of a program of a review or inventory that was done by what is now called GCA. The city was a proud owner of 17 water assets, and that's how I look at it. Water assets.
I remember when all the neighborhood kids learned how to skate on Venture Pond and there was hockey there all winter long.
Yeah,
Matter of fact, we went to the Gateway Hardware. The big hockey supplier, that's where it's.
Yeah. So I understand that, and I'm a kayak person, I've been kayaking water shops for years. Off of the Alden Street access. I can just do it off of the front of my house, or the back of my house, again, I didn't want to talk about it. But I think, the pond is, water shops pond, as you know, is really starting to change. And I would love to be able to do something to make sure it's protected. I don't know what that is. I'm learning. You guys are
It's
just.
hard because there's so much water that goes into the water shops pond from so many different areas. And so many people want green lawns. And as long as people want green lawns, the fertilizer is gonna go in there.
Well, there's no reason why they can't be educated too.
Right.
And
And everybody wants a lawn.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Well, they can do it the right way, they can do it the wrong way.
Yeah, unfortunately, fertilizer is fertilizer, whether it's organic and good or whether it's not. The plants, they don't know that, they just want the food.
There are other ways besides fertilizer. And I don't use fertilizer, and I've already, in a few months I've been at Stapleton Road, brought the lawn back without any fertilizer. So it's very possible to do. But I'm also concerned about what can be done as a group. And as an individual, but I gotta learn about what you folks do. And the mission of the Conservation Committee. And also, you have a lot of territory you're trying to protect.
Yeah.
And it is everywhere from very small pieces of land to immense pieces.
There's over 600 acres in the city alone, just conservation land.
So that's a great number to know.
Yeah, I think it's over 660 now. If I'm mistaken. Yeah, that's growing too because we're obtaining as much as we can.
The fact that you have such a commitment as a historically and in the future, the water assets are becoming far more important than, and unfortunately, more necessary than we can into that.
And Springfield's lucky to have so many wells.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you will see me, I hope, frequently. It's not that far from here that I live. And you guys are doing a great job. You are the best kept secret in the city.
Well, thank you for coming.
Unfortunately, sometimes we have to tell a lot of people no, so they're not always popular.
Well, I learned a lot tonight, that negative thing versus the positive thing, yes, no thing, that was very, very interesting. And I'm looking forward to learning more. So. Is the meeting over?
Well, as soon as we adjourn, we're just letting you have a chance to give input.
Thank you, sir.
So if someone wants to make a motion to adjourn, then
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it. We'll second
We'll
that.
say that together.
Commissioner Collins,
yes.
Commissioner Martinez,
Yes.
Commissioner Alminas,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Jones,
Yes.
Commissioner Ryan,
Yes.
Commissioner Von Dorn.
Thank you.
Oh, he had to go.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.